batch there are 38 flowers, but 2.9 million combinations are possible. Healing is a very dirty job. Willingness to heal and deal with what comes up. Sickness is just a course correction body is trying to tell you, because your external world is just a reflection of what you're going through within.
For how long do we need to take this?
To answer this question is very interesting, because there are people who heal with one dose.
Wow.
And there are people who take 2 years.
Like me.
No, it's not like you, because you had other issues that came up. But often it also depends on, do you want to heal? Is the illness serving you in any way? Any illness or any ailment that is serving you in some way. What I mean by serving you would mean that if it gets you the attention of a loved one, or it is helping you avoid another situation, you will not be willing to let go of that ailment.
Correct.
So we have had clients who have felt better in one dose. Some people say I'm feeling better in 3 weeks. The only thing about batches, you don't need to take it continuously. But yes, human beings, we are a work in progress all the while, because we have situations and you're dealing with environment, people, situations in your life all the time. However, for any issue that is long term, it may take a little longer, because we don't know how deep rooted it is and what other compensation layers you have created above it to survive and make you the human being you are today.
Yes.
Children heal very fast because they have lesser emotional blocks compared to us. They have lesser resistance. They are willing to let go. We often tend to hold on to certain issues. That is why it often takes longer. But once again, you decide your healing.
Yes.
You decide how long you want to take it. And some people, if they start feeling better, also stop, because they are in a victim mentality, that if this goes away, what will I do? So I don't want to let go. It is bringing me my spouse's attention, my child's attention. It's an example of a child complaining of a stomachache before for not wanting to go to school, because that's when the mother drops everything and sits with the child.
Absolutely.
So his or her association is, if my stomach pains, mama will sit with me.
Correct.
So that's what I'm going to say.
So that's the same association you have because you others.
So a very interesting example of a client was, her mother was a single parent. She had 3 children, of which this one was slightly backward, and she fell sick. For the first time in 55 years, her mother spent a week with her in hospital. And she said, I don't want to go home, because then mama will go back to doing whatever she's doing. And I was stunned, because that's what it is.
Wow.
She says, it took me 55 years and this pain for my mother to spend a week with me. It is, and that's where you realize how much we store within ourselves and how much we take people or things for granted at times.
I agree. I mean, if I have to see my own journey with it, it started with a situation which transformed the whole world. I didn't even know before that there was something like a disassociating. There is a survival mode, or there is a fight or flight mode. I had no idea that so many years of my life I have spent in being in either of the modes, and only when I started, there has to be a movement where you come to the point that, oh, you know what, now I want to go ahead on this journey. And what Bach Flower has done for me is unlayering each part. First I thought, oh, I was just dealing with the shock. But later on you realize that, oh, there is so much that goes within that it actually becomes messy. Like you said, it becomes, you get angry, you feel You don't know why you are crying at times. You don't know why suddenly what makes you very light. But what I learned is you have to keep going at it. Where you see today that, oh, this is how that journey has been turned out into such a beautiful state that I understand myself better. I am able to accept things that will support and assist me into being a version which deserve to feel happier, which deserve to live life purposefully, which deserve to experience things that I was blocking myself from. So yes, that is a journey that I have also had. Which brings me, how has been your journey as a counselor? I'm sure as a consultant you also had, like, it's not only us who have the journey, but you also do have a journey, and how has that been?
Yeah. So my introduction to Bach Flower Remedies started in 2008 when I lost my mother suddenly. In a span of 2 days. She walked into hospital and within a day and a half she was gone. That's when my homeopath gave me one shock remedy and said, take this because it's a sudden shock. However, cut to 2016, 2017 when I faced some personal challenges, my relationship, the workplace, things were not going okay. Bach Flower came back into my life. A teacher who had stopped teaching for 8 years decided to hold one class. So I took that as a sign, went ahead, did my course, received a lot of support from my then boss at the workplace who said, weekends I'll ensure you have no office work, you follow your passion. But yes, I went through a lot of illness to figure out that it was time for me to get out of the comfort zone of the workplace and follow my calling, which happened to be Bach Flower Remedies. And once it started healing me, I realized that this is what I was meant to do, and this is what has given me pure joy. At the same time, as a therapist, I have also learned that the people I attract to heal or help along their path are a clear reflection of what is unhealed in me. And it is always like that. I'll illustrate that with an example. When I started practicing Bach Flower Therapy, for some reason I had the fear of getting cancer. I always thought I'll get cancer. Nobody in my family has it. There's no history, there's nothing. Just a fear. My first 13 consults were of cancer patients. On how to deal with chemotherapy, these are the side effects, can Bach help? And I was scared. I called up my teacher. He said, get rid of your fear and the clients will change. As I started working on my fear, other clients started coming in, and that's when I realized. So that gave me the biggest insight that whenever I see a repetitive set of clients, or whenever I speak to anybody about their journey, I always reflect if there is something unhealed in me. So we need to help each other along the way and walk this path together.
How lovely. That's a very different way of looking at it, and that I think that's why you can practice what you can practice.
Yes.
This makes me ask you a question, which is, you said about cancer, chemotherapy, and does it really work? Bach Flower can be used for something like cancer, or if you take an example of hypertension or diabetes, which are regular issues. Like, I understand that we can take it for a emotional healing, which is depression there is other things which are known as a mental or side or emotional side, but something like this sector, which is a more physically, it's known that we only have a allopathy as an answer to it. Does it also work very well on that?
Yeah, especially.
And is it safe?
It is absolutely safe to take. However, what we do is, at that time we suggest it as a support therapy, because where allopathic intervention is required at a first stage, in most, if it's an accident or if it's cancer or if it's any other autoimmune disorder, or for example, something like what I have experienced, deep vein thrombosis, or anything like that, the immediate first step would be allopathy. But later, after you have kind of gotten onto the recovery path, Bach is a very huge support. What Bach remedies do is they help you ease the side effects or deal with the toxic ash residue of the allopathy remedies that are in your system, or you're not able to, or you're dealing with certain side effects or mental issues, even issues like schizophrenia, mental health disorders, ADHD, autism. Everywhere it works as an excellent support therapy. And that's why we suggest it along with the medication that you're actually taking, because we as therapists are not medically qualified to tell you to stop your medication. We do not understand the human body as well, and the human body is a miracle actually.
Yes, it is.
Absolute. So to understand how it actually works is tough. So what we say, start as a support therapy, but we have seen over a period of time your other medication is often reduced in terms of milligrams or in terms of dosage and stuff like that. That is what we have seen. Side effects of chemotherapy have been reduced to a very large extent. Yes, we cannot stop the hair fall and stuff like that, but the nausea, the inability to get your mood up because your body has gone through an overhaul.
Absolutely.
So yes, it does ease the process for you. Now here I'd like to state one more thing that's very important, that in certain issues like Alzheimer's and dementia, the human being has lost his connect with the source. The silver cord that connects us from the crown chakra to the consciousness is seen very thin in these people, often cracked at certain levels. So we have seen limited success there. However, what I would like to also say is we have seen a slowing down of the progression of the disease.
Yes.
Every physical disease is rooted in an emotional imbalance or upheaval. Once you get to the cause, how willing the human or the person is able to express his discomfort, the easier it is to help a person.
So in this, there is no fear of taking a excess medication, or what if I take it more than what is required? Or when you say assistant, you always have those so many fears that you come up with saying ki, oh, I have taken it extra, I have taken it lesser. These are the typical fears that you feel because you're taking it as an assistant. So is it?
There is no overdosing, there is no dependency. But the fact remains that because Bach remedies have no potency whatsoever, frequency is of utmost importance. So in an emergency, you can take a remedy every 5 minutes. For example, the golden hour after a heart attack. If Bach remedies are administered, we have seen lives being saved. The ECG at a hospital has kind of normalized by over 50 to 55%. Because in a city like ours, where traffic may be the reason you don't get medical help, we have seen patients being given a remedy, rubbing them on their pulse points, constantly spraying on them, are kind of stable by the time they get the necessary medical attention. The Bach Flower Remedies have beautifully been referred to as musical notes. So they've been given to you as the frequency with which the note is registered in your muscular memory, the faster and more longer lasting the impact. At the same time, taking only, if you've been recommended 4 doses, if you take only 1, you will not have the desired impact. If you are given a wrong remedy, your body intelligence knows how to flush it out through sweat, through urine, through tears, or just normal human excretion. So there's no right, there's no wrong. And
there's only resonance.
There's only resonance, and a remedy that works for me for a particular reason may or may not work for you for the same reason, because you as an individual are unique. So we will give you a mix that is bespoke for you, for your issues, for you as a person.
It's not a OTC, like an over-the-counter drug that come and just use it.
Yeah, that's why Dr. Bach himself also made just one crisis formula, which is the rescue remedy, which is something I would recommend everybody should keep with them for any situation that can cause you to freeze in the moment. It could be a phone call, it could be a sudden accident, it could be anything. But they are your spiritual guides at one point in time, and I personally have had a wonderful experience, and so have you.
Yes.
Like initially, I just remembered when we were talking, the first 3 Thursdays that I was supposed to speak to you, the appointment just didn't happen.
Yes.
Of course, lots other stuff happened.
Yeah.
But it's only when you're ready will it actually come to you.
Absolutely.
And if you're willing to go through with it, you will experience the joy. It does raise your frequency.
100%, no doubt about that part, and it really helps in even understanding that where I want to focus my energy.
Yes.
What I want to attract and have a more self-awareness. So what I have taken it from here is it has made a lot of self-awareness. I'm a lot aware of myself. I'm more acceptance of the situation. Hence I start a journey of letting go. I'm not saying that it's easy and you let go things immediately, but it does start to that journey, and the starting point is awareness, and that is what Bach Flower has given me, awareness of where I want to head.
Yes.
And assisted me into the whole process of a lighter me that I deserve to live. So yes, that has been a beautiful journey, and thank you so much for sharing so much, explaining us the psychology, the philosophy, and anatomy, whatever that you want to say of a Bach flower, which is your decision to take it as an assistant for your journey. And that decision, like you said, is you who has to make it. Nobody else can make it for you. So
in fact, along with awareness, I'd like to add acceptance. It is one of the most important things to healing. And one last part that I'd like to state about the Bach Flower Remedies is it works on your neural networks. It works along your spine. And that is why it brings about the necessary behavioral and emotional changes, because the neural networks are fired and created to bring about the changes, long-lasting changes, and that is why you don't need to take it continuously. Once the desired changes have been brought into your life and you have reached a certain frequency.
Yes, I noticed that at one point I don't feel like taking it, and I have taken that gap, and then I have called you after some time saying that I don't think I require, but this is what I feel now, and I realize about myself now. So yes.
So that's where it is. So, but yes, I would still suggest try it and experience the magic. Come home to yourself. That's what Bach Flowers is all about.
How lovely. Come home to yourself because you're allowed to take space.
Yes, absolutely. Thank
you.